Representative Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the body's attention today. As it was previously mentioned, this is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And it's really tough to imagine when we think about historical events and how atrocious these atrocities were, to put it in context of how recent in our history this took place. Most of you know that I'm Christian. I was raised Christian, and my wife is Jewish, and we have the opportunity and the blessing to raise our children in both religions, and they get the benefit of that. And they attend church and they attend synagogue, but they only go to one house of worship that has to have security guards to this day. Now, Auschwitz was liberated only 32 years before my wife and I were born. And I'm a pretty young member of this body. And it's only been 32 years since my wife's bar mitzvah. And that gives you some context of how recent these atrocities took place. But indeed, those atrocities were in the past. However, the discrimination, the anti-Semitism, the hate still exists to this day. We, as elected officials, have a duty not just to pass resolutions honoring this day, this anniversary of liberation. We have a duty to follow through on what we preach. Whether we attend a church, whether you're Baptist, whether you're Church of Christ like I was raised, or whether you attend a synagogue or a congregation, we all have a duty to prevent the hate and discrimination that persists to this day of religious faiths. Now, in recent years, we have passed laws that are contrary to this. Just recently, as reported, a Jewish couple has been denied the opportunity to provide a child a loving home because of their religious faith. That's the result of a law we passed in this body. Books are being stripped out of public libraries that give detailed personal accounts from survivors and about victims of the Holocaust. I myself had a resolution some of you disagreed with in recent years that denounced anti-Semitism and neo-Nazis.
Representative Clemens, this is welcoming and honoring. This is sounding like a floor speech based on legislation. So I don't know which way you're going, but it is welcoming and honoring. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I simply want to recognize on this International Holocaust Memorial Day that we have a duty. Let's come together. This is something about which we should be united in honoring, recognizing our history, and working to avoid it from happening again. We're all on the same page on this. Let's act like it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I appreciate the work that we all will do to avoid this in the future.
Representative Faison. Representative White.